into this, but I don't have to be into this.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's not how cults work. Um, and I do think being a foreigner kind of helped me too with this, because like I'm not gonna live there forever.
Right.
And also it's like I don't know. Like I
You
feel
had an
like
automatic escape.
yeah, I had an escape for sure, and I think if I had lived there or were Japanese, they'd be more like you have to do. Like they'd be more pushing it, I feel like. Because to me, like it was almost always like, "Oh, do you want to?" Or like I said no to a lot of things. But like I feel like if you get into it too much, then you can't like you start feeling you can't say no
Right.
too. So I think that helped me too. But like the first lessons are kind of like I call them like gimme lessons. Like they're warming you up to like the everything's a metaphor kind of thing, and like they're also like if you grew up with Christianity, they're like all the things that you already know about, like Adam and Eve and Abel and Cain, like the typical stories.
Yeah.
So it's like the first, I'd say like 10 are not like anything crazy at all. So like by the time you've gone through 10 of them and you've probably already done other activities with them too, then you definitely do think like, oh, they're my friends. So like they're priming you to like accept the more crazy things, I guess.
Oh my god.
Um and also like everyone was like so passionate and like it was so infectious too. Like
Yeah.
everyone was like so like brimming with life and like excited and like seemed genuinely interested and like friendly, like the nicest people you'd ever meet.
Yeah, you're like, how did I get so lucky to meet these people who I just love being around?
Right. Yeah. But like the TikToker, like Liz explains, they're really just love bombing you like an abusive relationship
Oh
would.
my god.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be able to make friends again because I'm being indoctrinated into a cult.
Well, just wait to hear culty things like that their leader is the second coming of Jesus, and then you know to pull out,
Yeah.
which I'll get to later, but I didn't pull out right away. But yeah, like almost all of it is fake. Like all their smiles are fake, all their energy is fake. People say it's like Cheshire cat smiles, which is so true. Literally no one ever not smiles. Like it's all just smiles. Like think of the Avatar the Last Airbender and like Ba Sing Se and
Yeah.
what's like the lady. Yeah, like her just what is her name? Julie,
I think
I
so.
think. Yeah, like think of her and that's this.
Oh
Cuz
my
they literally
god.
are always like smiling and stuff. But like I thought some of this at the time was like cultural difference because like Japan, it's very common to like put on a face for outsiders and like not really let people know how you actually feel and like I'm obviously never going to be like Japanese or anything and I can't be like in their inner circle. Like even though we're friends in my mind, I'm still not gonna like actually see the real
Right.
them.
Right.
So I just thought a lot of this was cultural differences at the time. But I mean, some of it could have been because I have other like Japanese friends that are not part of this that kind of some of it's the same, but like this was like to a whole new level of like crazy. Because like even some of my other Japanese friends, they would talk about like problems and stuff, like normal stuff that you would talk about with a friend.
Right.
But like I don't know, it just seemed like everything was always great. Um, but like around halfway, they have like a session like specifically on cults, which I don't know if they added like after he was jailed or whatever, but like it says like, when Jesus first came and there were all these people that like viewed it as a cult and obviously it's not a cult now and so like they
Right.
like paralleled it to that.
Of course they did.
And like, around then it's kind of like that's a little weird that you have to specifically say this isn't a cult.
Right.
But I keep going
You were doing
because I also
research.
think they're my friends.
Yeah,
Huh?
you were doing research.
Yeah. Um, and I also do think before I had finished all the lessons, I feel like I went to the church service like on like Sunday service like once or twice. But like Liz, like the TikToker, she said like for her before she like got through all the lessons, like these church services were fake too. 'Cause like I don't really remember if it seemed fake or not. But for she said for her, like they have, stuff for like their leader, like in the church. So they take all that down. So you don't see that. And then like they do like a regular service like with a regular sermon, like any service you would hear at a normal church. Because like their normal sermons are like things that he's writing from jail. And it's like totally new information every time. And it's not how a normal church sermon would be. So like they have fake ones before you're totally in it to like show you the church and
They're really doing the most to get people to
yeah.
join this. They
Yeah.
probably know the
It's like
exact
crazy how much.
number of regular ones you have to go to before they switch it. Do you know what I mean? Like they probably have it calculated to
Oh,
you need to go to exactly 9 of these, and after that you'll just accept anything.
yeah, they might. Or like I don't know. I mean, I feel like I only went to one or two before I was done with everything. But like I also finished super fast.
Right.
So, but I know they don't let you go to the regular one till you know all the lessons. So, they had to have been fake, I guess, when I was there, but I don't really remember. And also, they did invite me to like the church put on a play for something like before I had been through all the lessons and stuff. And like, obviously, I also had a language barrier, so I didn't really understand a lot of what they were saying either for the play. So I thought it was like a retelling of the fall of Eve. Because it kind of had, like, in my, like, what I could understand, it seemed like Eve was in like a palace or something and she was like protected and then she like wanted adventure or whatever and went off and tasted the fruit and then like so it seemed like a retelling of
Well, of
Eve
course they
falling.
love that story because that's the only way they can get you to have sex with a guy.
Right. But like I think the play too was like actually about the leader going to jail unjustly too.
Oh.
But like that's just I don't really I remember parts of it and like I said I couldn't really understand so I feel like that's why I didn't think it was weird. But I'm pretty sure it was really like about him and whatever. And then I'd say like maybe the fifth to last session, maybe. Like I could logically see like where they were going because they kind of like breadcrumb a little bit that like leads to saying he's the second coming of Jesus. So I'd say like even by like the fifth to last one, I was like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna say this guy because they start like mentioning this
Yeah, but
guy
you're so
more.
smart. Like
Yeah,
you're smarter than the average person, I think. So like,
right. But I kept going.
yeah, but I think you knew.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so because like they start talking about this guy and the lady that I was like, there's this one lady. I think I say this later, but I'll just say it now. Like they like out of the two that approached me, like both of them would talk to me, but I was more like attached to one of them, and she would like translate everything for me. But she was like assigned to me,
You had a
like because they
handler.
yes, because I also needed translation too. But like they stick you with someone to help you through all the lessons. Like she was at every single one, and like to monitor your progress and like report it. So like at the time, she kept saying this was her pastor, this guy. But I didn't realize that was meant like this, the leader of the whole thing. Like I thought it was an actual like pastor for the local place.
Right. Oh my god, do you think she got in trouble that you didn't join?
I don't know. I don't really care.
I bet she did.
I don't know, because also like the other lady that approached me too, I guess I was her first convert or whatever, and she was like so proud of that she got like one, like that was her first one, and then I left. So I'm sure like I
Haha,
don't know.
stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but like for this guy, we only ever call like I only knew him as Sunsanim, which is Korean for teacher. It's like saying sensei. So like
Okay.
they always said Sunsanim. So I literally never knew his name. Or they would say like R, like the letter R, and I have no idea. Like I do not remember where that came from. But like yeah, they eventually say that he's the second coming of Jesus, but I could see this coming. And there's like all this, there is like numerology and it talks about like time and like time and time and time and a half or whatever. I don't know. There's like all this math stuff to like make it. So they like tell you of like, oh, in the Bible, in Book of Daniel, it says like in 1978 is when like like the second Jesus will come, and that's like when his church started,
Oh my
and
god.
then it's like there's going to be hardship in 1999 because of this passage in like Revelations or whatever, and that's when he had to flee Korea, and like all these things, like they do all those things to like add it up. So like it's very like a logical progression, and like they give like they have you get, because I got the Bible app, and like they pull up passages and say this is what it says, and here's the like math behind it, and it equals like they have you write out the math so you can equal like 1978, and then they say what happened then.
And you feel like it's like a discovery you're making too, because
Right.
you're writing it all out. And you're like,
Right.
no way.
Yeah, it does make it feel like you're discovering it. I feel like that's why I kept going, because I was like, I see where you're going, but I want you to say it, and I want to see where this goes.
Right. Well, I think
Like
I would
almost
have
like a
gotten
story.
sucked right in.
Yeah, I mean, people do. It's all over the world, but it's just crazy. Um, but yeah, so the last study is where they like say, like they lay it all out like plainly. Like they breadcrumbed you, and then they say like, bam, he is for sure the second coming of Jesus. And like everyone gets shell shocked, I guess, from it, because I mean, I was not surprised, like I said. But like a lot of people are surprised by that's like where they've been leading you. Because even the TikToker lady, she was like, yeah, like I could tell towards the end that they were like wanting to lead me somewhere, but I didn't know where. And then like that's the conclusion is the last study. So like when that happens, you kind of have to think about it. And like
So, but
people,
you were brought to that conclusion, so you did finish it.
yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like I had to have finished it because I found that out in like December, because that was my last one, and
That
I
is
kept
really
going.
fast.
It is really fast. I was looking at my notes. There's like, I feel like I was going like 3 times a week.
Jeez. That's the most consistently you've ever done anything in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even go to the gym 3 times a week. But it was also like at her house, and like it felt like I was hanging out with them too. Like we
Right.
kind of did it in addition to doing other things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I
But
get it. I would have been all over. I
yeah,
know. Like, I always say if someone from Scientology approached me and I
yeah,
didn't already know what Scientology was, I would have been sucked in so fast.
right. Like it's just so easy, I feel like. Um, but yeah, I like I said, I didn't really react, and they were surprised that I was not surprised, because other people it's
They're like,
shocking,
what?
but yeah, because like the TikToker lady too, like everyone I feel like has their own reason for joining, but like she said she was really shocked, had to go home. She prayed about it because they encourage you to pray about it. Like, well, just pray and then you'll see or whatever, it'll whatever. I
Right.
guess this is kind of the make or break. If you get past this, they think like you're for sure in. So I feel like
Oh, you hate to fall into patterns.
yeah.
You're a contrarian.
Yeah. And to me too, it was more like mental. Like this is not my faith. Like this is never gonna be my faith. I'm never gonna be part of an actual like organized religion.